Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been some time since we've been to Meliora, but many of you said that you are still interested in the process. So here we are today, and I can tell you already that there is a bunch of process and progress happening in this video. I made this video kind of a mixture of the on-stream talking, so past Malene, and then also the present voiceover Malene will sometimes explain some things, and there will also just be some short sped up parts to show you the process. But I would say, without talking for too long, let's get right into it and let past Malene explain to you what the heck's gonna happen today. Alright, so let's chat about what the heck is gonna happen with this island. This island is called Meliora. It's still pretty much brand new. We just filled it up with a couple of villagers. Some of them were like auto-filled, some of them we just picked up from islands because they were kind of cute. Basically, I want this island to be a color coordinated fairy meadow. What a name. I can't. I want to have somewhat of a circle of landscaping around the entire island, and in the middle we'll have a very colorful kind of meadow, lots of flowers, you know, and then around it on the cliffs we'll have kind of color themed areas with 1 or 2 villager per area. I'll show you the mood board in a second. I feel like that definitely helps. And then the entrance and some like maybe transitional areas or stuff like that will be kind of like a fairy type aesthetic with light greens and cream or white colors. Okay, let me show you the little mood board, okay? So this is the mood board that we made on stream before. There's also a video on YouTube as well if you want to watch like the entire process of this coming together. Oh, and then what I forgot to mention is that in the back we want to have Flurry and Hamfrey as kind of the white and black because they help to kind of balance out the land. Looking back at this mood board, one thing I noticed was that all of the like warmer tone colors like red, orange, yellow are on the left side, and then like blue and purple, and then also kind of the pink, which are a little bit cooler toned, at least the blue and purple, are on the right hand side. I kind of don't like that though. I kind of would like to mix them up a little bit to increase the contrast between the different colors and also increase kind of like that colorful kind of feeling. Does that make sense? I don't really know. But I was thinking maybe the colors kind of like that. Oh yeah, and then about transitions. So what I thought is I would like there to be like water between the different areas. Not too much though, like just like small streams that sometimes you just have to hop over or something. And then it kind of all flows together somewhat in the middle, you know? So that's kind of the idea. All right, so first things first, I want there to be some water around my house and then somewhat go over to the side. And then I think we'll start the landscaping kind of like, because I think we'll have to kind of put some of our stores and stuff on the beach. Maybe we'll leave like a little bit of an opening so that we can have like Able Sisters by the beach. And then we're just gonna kind of start landscaping this up. So the first color that we're gonna work with is red, which means those are 2 houses, which is kind of important to know because obviously we need to have a little bit more room for the red area. The first step is, and I wanted to do this even before kind of doing the code shopping, which is going to happen very soon too, is doing the layout just so we know how much room we have for every color, and like so that we have the space kind of set aside and we don't like run out of room like in the end, you know? I feel like it might be nice if we kind of bring it a little bit further in front of resident services on this side though. And then we'll have to see, because this one I definitely want to be an incline. For the rest of the island, I actually don't know if I want like inclines or if every time you can like go down to the beach, it's more gonna be with like a ladder or something a little more secretive. All right, we're just gonna like try and like make these edges around resident services kind of curved. Also, I'll just quickly get some vines because I want to kind of start spreading them around so that I can just climb up. Yeah, green will just be a color kind of for every area and for every section, because I feel like, especially also with having, you know, trees and all that kind of stuff, that is gonna massively help us. Also, okay, I do want to bring in my river mouth kind of, like I don't want that to just be cut off. So I think we're gonna try and work that in for the waterscaping between areas. And then I was also thinking that maybe for the areas where I have 2 houses, it could be nice to either add another layer on top or bring that one down to the base level. I don't know which one is better though. So since both of my river mouths on this island are actually south facing, so they're to the bottom basically, I tried to also implement them into the landscaping. So I tried to put the border that I wanted to make with water wherever there was a river mouth. And that's kind of what I did here as well. And then also you will see me try and shape the outside of this cliff to kind of fit the pre-existing island layout, but also vary it every once in a while. So for red, we'll have, actually red is kind of to be decided still. On the mood board, it says Fauna and Cherie. I don't know if her name is actually pronounced Cherie. I kind of would like to call it just like Cherry. They're both not really, really red though. It's just that every character that's like really red, I've kind of had before, like Drift or Ketchup. So I wanted to have some villagers that I haven't had before, so we'll see. Bill might still be an option. Fauna is technically kind of brownish. She does have like a red tint to it, right? Oh my god, I just saw the map for a brief second, and I feel like we've been doing this for a long time, and there's not much to see just yet. I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but Poppy is kind of a no for me because of her mouth. It's so weird. I'm really weird about the mouth shape and also location. So I don't really like any of the elephants for the reason that their mouth is lopsided. There are some really cute ones. Like I think Dizzy is heckin' adorable. For some reason, when I have them, I just can't get over it for some reason. And then, like many other times, it was time to shovel some dirt. Again, you can kind of see that around the edges, I always try to kind of mimic the shape that the island already has. But then I do like to kind of bring it in every once in a while. Something I like to pay attention to when I landscape is that the shape or like the direction of the cliff or also the water won't be repeated for more than 2 tiles. So if I have a cliff going like horizontally for 2 tiles, the next one I will try to kind of make a rounded cliff. I don't really know if that makes sense, but you can kind of see that pattern in like the way that I landscape all the time. Lyman, you're heckin' adorable, but also not taking out your phone, excuse me. You know what I can already tell you? I won't be flattening this island, I don't think. But the Zen video! Yeah, moving on. I will be linking the 2 different streams that this happened in down in the description box below, one of which was most of the landscaping, and then the other one we'll get to later was a bit of waterscaping as well. And of course, since those are multiple hours long, we talked about a whole bunch of different topics such as ice cream. We also definitely talked about movies for a long time. I specifically remember Barbie, Marvel, and Disney movies being a thing. And then we also did have a long chat about mental health. So if that sounds interesting to you and like something you'd like to put on in the background or something like that and see every single shovel movement on this island, then you can find that in the description box below. Will the middle just be your house and resident services? So the middle will be, I don't know. So my house is going to be where it currently is. And behind it, I want to also pull up the cliff. So like I might want to have a little bit of water. I don't know if we were going to have room for trees, but we are going to like pull up the cliff here and then kind of bring the cliff kind of behind resident services as well, because I feel like it might be nicer if we kind of case that in. So it's also not part of the middle. I kind of don't want it to be part of the middle, you know? I think we might be doing some time traveling in a second to get all these houses moved. God, that looks hilarious. Are you going to do all the terraforming first and then the decorating? I think so. At least mostly, just because I feel like I need to have the separate areas sectioned off. Ooh, I could actually bring it out to the, is this 3 tiles wide? This is 3 tiles wide, I think. I'm gonna have to look at this on the map though. I feel like if this is not really nice on the map, I might definitely change it a bit and bring it in at times or something, because I feel like I want this to be kind of a pretty map. Okay, I can change the back of this, but I definitely will. I mean, I just can't change it right now because there are a lot of trees there, but I will definitely change it because it's way too straight. All right, let me see. I guess I'll fill in this part now, and then we might time travel so that we can fill the rest of the houses. I never go into my house, and when I do, my villagers keep me hostage. Exactly. Well, actually, no. Actually, that's a lie, because so on Equilibrio, I just never talk to my villagers. Apparently my friendship level wasn't high enough, so they didn't bother me. Life hack, you know. And then we pretty much did what we had planned before. So we filled in the entire like shape of the landscaping that we had just done. And then we also went ahead and moved Fauna, Lyman, Filbert, as well as the Able sisters to fill in all of those different spots. I also briefly tried extending the cliff to the peninsula, but ended up not liking it, so I just completely tore it down again. And then I noticed something. So my tree storage is in our way. Isn't that great? Let me get some turnips, please. Oh my god, 92, let's go! That's pretty good. And then after moving a whole bunch of trees, it was time to extend the landscaping to behind resident services. All right, so I want to have not a lot of landscaping. I think just like enough to maybe have some trees on it. Because this is going to be in like the same style as like the entrance. It might just be like 3-4 tiles wide or something like that. Oh, I kind of want to round that one more, I think. One more to the left, I mean. Let me see that from the front as well. I don't know if we maybe have to add like another tier here. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I wanted to say something earlier and I forgot about it. But one of the challenges I think is going to be that if you walk around the island, I don't want you to be able to see the middle part from like the other sections, at least not like easily as you walk past them, because I want it to be almost like a surprise for when you actually walk there, you know? It's gonna have to be kind of closed off to the middle, so I think we're gonna have to maybe like do stuff 2-tiered every once in a while or something. I don't know. So this should be for even 5 tiles wide, which I feel like should be enough. And after filling this cliff in a bit so that there's enough room for trees, I then went ahead to the opposite side of like the inner circle pretty much. All right, I do want to bring this in because I feel like that is quite a lot of space right here that I might not need. All right, maybe like 2 more in. It's really weird for me to work with like existing cliffs. I usually don't ever do that. Shaping them to be something I want is weird for some reason. But I didn't want to, because it's a lot of extra cliff that I would have had to build up. So I didn't want to do that from scratch, so I just left them up. But it's a little hard now to imagine how I want this to be. I don't know about the backdrop, if we want there to be extra cliffs or anything, but like if I climb up here, that should be plenty room for like a house, right? We definitely wanted to have a cliff kind of like literally in the middle. This would kind of be the middle, right? And then I don't know if we want there to just be the moon or also some stuff on it, but this would be the cliff, right? That is like plenty of space. That might even be too much space. And then kind of here, like the corner is kind of giant. This one here could be bigger though. Yeah, we can bring this one in. I feel like I also have my concentrated face on again, which makes me look a bit grumpy, but it's fine. Now I'm just trying to close it in like an aesthetic way. I don't know what that means. I could bring this a little further back, round it a little bit prettier for sure. And now I feel like we have to kind of go back and forth maybe. Bring it out, bring it in again, a little bit kind of like that, you know? I actually think this is kind of not bad. I would like to bring it out a little bit earlier here maybe. All right, let's kind of leave the middle part almost like this. For now, the cliff by resident services, or like behind resident services here, will kind of go down to my house and then kind of be all the way on the left side as well. And then a very brief break from the actual process as we had to tear something down that we had built for Build Wars previously. This build might actually come back another time for a different island theme, but for this specific one, I did have to tear it down. Shall I just keep this cliff maybe? Let's see. I might actually involve some of this in the build, so I will just kind of remove these trees here. Oh my god, this used to be the Build Wars build. You know, this used to win awards. And then we went back to shaping the cliff on the outside. This time we went to the left-hand side, and once again I tried kind of adapting it to the pre-existing island layout. Just every once in a while, when it kind of felt a little bit too repetitive, I would build a little nook to the inside of the island rather than actually shape it like the actual island. I hope that you know what I mean by kind of looking at the footage as I kind of try and explain it, because I am terrible at explaining what I do in land and waterscaping. It's just so hard with the different like cliffs and tiles and shapes and all that kind of stuff. So I hope that kind of like the audio and the video coming together will hopefully explain this a little bit better. Generally, if you have a bigger area of landscaping to kind of shape and fill out and kind of work on, I would actually recommend this type of technique though, of building the outer shell or maybe like the skeleton of your build and kind of just seeing the different kind of corners, rounding everything, kind of really building that outer layer. And then once you're happy with the shape, because it's a lot easier to kind of make changes to it that way instead of building everything and filling all those little cliffs and things in and then realizing that maybe there is something that you don't like about it. So build that type of shell, and then once you're happy with it, start filling it in, which is kind of a nice thing to do as you're just kind of, you know, watching a TV show or a stream or something like that. It's a very like repetitive motion, so it's kind of nicely done on the side, even though it can get a little bit boring. I don't know if I want the cliff so close to the house. I might have to make adjustments to this in a second. Speaking of my house and speaking of adjustments, let me briefly explain something as we kind of just continue the landscaping in the background. So basically, I did actually shape the landscaping bit and the cliff bit around my house. I tried to kind of blend it in with the position that the house was currently in. Plus, much later on, you will actually see a little bit of water pop up in front of my house. I have decided to pretty much edit that out of the video though, because, spoiler alert, I ended up having to redo a bunch of it. Pretty quickly while I was doing it, I realized that the space was just not going to be enough and I was going to have to move my house once again, and then that would obviously influence the cliffs around it as well as the water in front of it. So I just kind of decided to at some point abandon it and then return to it later once we actually get to like the entrance decorating. And so I decided, because we are going to be moving the house and reshaping the cliffs and it's pretty much going to be done from scratch, that I will not make a part of this video, but part of the entrance landscaping and decorating. I hope that that's okay. And then just as a brief explanation of what we are even doing here on the left side. So basically for the inner circle, I just kind of tried once again to keep it in somewhat of a natural shape. And I wanted this cliff to be around the same like width as the right hand side, just so all the different areas, like the colored areas, have approximately around the same size, depending on maybe if they're 1 or 2 houses. And so I just kind of tried to therefore shape the inner circle and also connect it to the bit of landscaping that we did behind resident services and then also my house. But like I said, I will be adjusting this a little bit later on, and I will just make it part of that video then. And then, you guessed it, it was time to fill everything in. I will keep this to an absolute minimum because it really wasn't the most exciting thing to do, but you get an idea of the basic shape that we just did, and now just everything is filled with actual cliffs. I like the music, it almost the ch-ch sound of terraforming. 69% voted for the in-game sounds, so we're gonna go and do that. All right, let's do some ch-ch. Great. And now, as previously already talked about, it was finally time to shape the back of the island as well. So I just tried to turn this very straight line of cliffs into almost the shape of a wave, I would say. So just every once in a while, I would shape a little bit of the cliff away around all the corners, and then we ended up with something like this. This might be the ring of landscaping, kind of. Now let's kind of think about maybe some rough sections with some water. For like the black and white area, I guess this would kind of be, I'll make this like natural looking. It won't be like straight kind of rivers. It'll be kind of like tiny winding rivers almost. I just want to see kind of the sections, I guess. I think it might be nice if like at the top here, the two sections kind of go until this little part, kind of like here, and then it kind of goes like up. Red might be going into the middle part here. I feel like I want to bring this in, so like it kind of would flow into the land here maybe? Can bring that way up, make it a bit bigger. So for this part, you might actually see me glancing at the bottom part of the screen, which is where my map is. Because all I did for this part was actually roughly estimate how big the certain areas should be, depending on the map and depending on kind of the amount of houses. And then I just kind of randomly started forming the start of a river with a few ups and downs, basically. So maybe if we do it that, you know, the pink is like the middle section here, I feel like we kind of have to, maybe a little bit further on the right hand side here. We have to kind of do the orange section almost like by our house, like here. And then the pink will somewhat be here, right? Let's go a little bit more to the left here. All right, and then let's go down a bit. Is this, oh yeah, wait, this is the river mouth, so that would work out, I guess. So maybe kind of like that. And I want to try and maybe have like a viewing platform every once in a while that you can just climb up to and stuff. But I think this would kind of be the rough layout. And there will be a little bit more waterscaping here and there. There will be maybe a bridge here and there. Oh. Take care. So that's the layout. And that's also everything we did for that day. So let's go ahead to the next day. I present to you my weird villagers that have been molesting me for the past 10 minutes. And as Dom asked to move out the day before, we also went on a little villager hunt during this stream. And if you've never heard me react to Finding a Dreamy before, here you go. You're welcome. So very... One thing I do want to do though is customize my house. So going with the entire theme of the fact that this is kind of in the same universe and this is kind of the same character as the one on Equilibrium, what I want to do is have the same shape and type of house, but make it a lot more light and airy. I have somewhat of a customization in mind, so let's kind of see if we can do that. Time travel a day so that Ursula is here and then also the house is done. To kind of explain the idea that I had, right? Let me try and go back to what we had on Equilibrium. This is what we had, right? And then we took the mailbox out of the equation. I think we're gonna do the same thing here. At this time, I wanna make it more of like a fairy type of aesthetic and go with kind of the aesthetics of the middle part where my character is, right? So like there's some light green, there's some cream color, some white, kind of stuff like that. I kind of want to go with one of these brick exteriors. So the options I think that we could go for are the gray one, the beige one, or also the pale green. For the roofs, there's not many I like here. Maybe more like this type of door. Okay, but we could try and like go with this for now and just kind of see how it then blends in with the rest. And then I feel like it's going to help a ton to have like the houses kind of done. So this is going to be the purple house. Oh no, not the rain. Oh, but our house is done. Let's go. Oh my god, look at you having the cute wallpaper. She's so cute. Oh my god, she's so cute. Her eyes. Let's think about this. So I'd like to have from the entrance, like a tiny little path to my house. I was thinking of water around it, by the way. I don't know if we can actually make that happen by now because we've made that cliff so close and it's actually kind of close to the beach as well. And then what I was thinking is we kind of leave a tiny little bit of room for a little path to the beach because that's going to be, I think, our Able sisters. And then maybe this is going to be like a bridge. Right, so let's kind of just put like a bit of pathing here to mark the spot. And then this is gonna be the red area, right? Everything here until the water pretty much, which is kind of a decently sized area. We actually also did some map progress for the red area and built up some cliffs and stuff like that. But I feel like this video is already going to be long enough, so I decided to kind of leave it out. And instead we'll have a video soon that will be just like landscaping and decorating the red area. So maybe we can have like one video for each area kind of, or for like each aspect of the island. I feel like that would make a little bit more sense and also keep everything a little bit closer together. So we're going to go ahead and skip the landscaping of the red area and instead move right on to the waterscaping. To be quite honest with you, I don't even have that much to comment on this part because as I was doing it, I wasn't even really thinking too much about it. Literally what I did was basically use my very random waterscaping from the day prior, and I just kind of rounded all the different corners, then kind of went back and looked at it and kind of decided if I liked it or not. And if I didn't, I just kind of made it a little wider or a little thinner and all that kind of stuff. There was really not too much of a thought process going on here. I guess I don't love how this bit is here. It's a bit too thin. I might want to have a little bit more. I don't know if I can bring the cliff out here a bit more. Let's see. Oh yes, I can. That might help. We might just have to adjust it a bit. All right, so kind of like now I'd like to bring it in a bit more on this side. No, I don't know. It's not working for me. I don't know what it is. Okay, wait. I love waterscaping, but I think as soon as cliffs come into play, I don't anymore. Maybe kind of like that. Maybe this is kind of okay-ish. And then goes a little bit thinner here. Maybe that could work. So you'll kind of just hop over here, and then this will be the purple section. Let's kind of work on the river, I think. I think for this part, it would be kind of fun if we split this. I could kind of do it like this and then just kind of hide it with the shrub again and then kind of bring it together somewhat like this. I'm fine with the river down here, I think. Just this one spot, but that'll just have like a shrub. That looks interesting, doesn't it? The thing is though, the water will kind of come together in the middle. Like I'll continue all the water in the middle. So I feel like that will help it, I think. So this here needs to be a cliff for the moon. The moon is 2 by 2, but of course we want there to be a little bit of rounding, and we want there to, I think, be like the origin of the water maybe. Wait, okay, I think we have to sacrifice a little bit of one area to make this look a bit more natural. And then just make it like 2 tiles wide. I feel like the area kind of deserves that. And then round the rest. And that might be a nice-ish shape. And then Flurry gets a little bit more space. You know, that's great. We love that. All right, so let's bring it kind of like this. Yes, a little bit further to the right. I think that looks a bit more natural. I feel like we can do a little bit of a sideway turn here, kind of like that, and then bring this to a close we could kind of connect it to this. Just have it one tile wide and then do another one kind of like a little bit further down. We have to hide some stuff with some shrubs, but again, I think that kind of couldn't work. I feel like this kind of looks like an arm on the map too. All right, I think we have to move the cliff in so that I can also round that corner piece. All right, Lime and my friend, will you let me please, thank you, continue workout? It's gonna be a little interesting when we kind of connect them in the middle, but this is kind of the map so far. It does look kind of like something in the middle has like many arms. And that's going to be it for today as well. We made a whole ton of progress, and as you were maybe able to tell from the map, we also made some more progress in the red area and the entrance. Stay tuned for those videos. And then I would like to say thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the progress on this island, as well as maybe our Let's Play series. I'd love to see you there. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye everyone!